Animation is like magic.
My name is Michaela.
Samia.
Shai. Leona.
Tegan.
Christopher.
Marisha. Leandre.
Bruno. Clayton.
My name is Tamik, but everybody calls me Mickey.
We've taken kids from our community and we've been teaching them animation.
We don't get ideas planted when we're young that you can actually be this. This kid already is going through primary school and high school knowing that I can do this. There's this thing out there that I can go and study. I can become this.
One day I will make my own animation movie.
What I liked about animation is the part where we had to draw people and how to make them walk, like bringing them alive. I will want to make my own animated movie.
My biggest concern was the work, that they would struggle. The duration of the workshop was 2 hours. I think within 30 minutes we already had one walking.
The most difficult part was how to move the legs. You will have to draw the legs, how it goes, and you will have to make it step by step. You will count step by step. That's how you must do it. I want to make my own animated movie.
I came up with a character of a lady that I knew, that she had a kind of like an interesting, nice, slow walk that I like, because she walked kind of like a model. I would like to animate my own animated movie.
A beautiful thing to see how each and every kid interprets an image, how each and every one of them interpreted the walk, how the walks were different.
The nicest thing was about drawing and doing the stuff with the clay.
I made something that moved out of clay.
A ball turning into a flower, turning into something flat, and then turning into a pyramid.
Ek was se van aard en goed nie. Ek het net gekom as om te sê ek leer, ek het net geleer. Ek het geleer om met 'n bal kan, dus ek sê myself nee man, dat ek die bal one side los, dat ek 'n mannetjie try om te sien kan ek jump, kan ek iets kom in my kop in. Hy mannetjie, hy gaan op in die wolke af en na die bome toe.
After a while, they got really confident in their skill set. They started taking ownership of the skills that they were learning. They started teaching each other. They started teaching new kids that were coming on. Even older kids were being taught by the young kids.
It's going to start on top and fall down slower, and then it's going to fall quicker and touch the ground and squash because of the force, and then it's going to stretch up again.
The most important thing is for the learners to understand this is for them. Animation is possible.
Usually when you start drawing, your drawings don't just move around and walk away. You just have to make them move. And that's what's magical about it.
Soos tyd aangegaan het, soos ek het klaar gedoen het, toe sien ek is iets mooi wat ek gedoen het.
The most difficult thing is just how to make it move. Now I will know how to make it when I'm big.
I really love the opportunity of how this can start planting seeds for the development of young brains to be problem solvers, critical thinkers, creative, innovative.
I love to explore around the world and teach people animation.
The techniques that we're focusing on is hand-drawn animation on paper and various forms of stop frame, which has included clay, animating objects, but also animating murals. There's a workflow that incorporates working with inexpensive materials in ways that you can do almost anywhere, and then digitizing and gaining those digital skills at the same time.
Looking at what are the different alternative forms of animation that we could introduce: stop frame animation, charcoal animation, sand animation, allows for easier teaching, for less barriers to entry.
There's a lot of stuff we learned on animation, painting, erasing, bringing stuff that is still to life, stuff that is still that can move. So all those techniques we learned.
It gives a creative outlet. I think it's very constructive in general to have creativity and the arts as part of learning.
It also teaches them some form of discipline and concentration.
It was almost like an exercise, which actually helped me to be relaxed.
This project is built on partnerships and collaboration. The Beehive Culture Worx, the Wits Department of Film and Television, and Animation SA, which is supporting the project.
As Animation SA, we were really excited when we heard about the Kliptown program, because it brought in two key components that create a sort of trifecta between community organizations, academia, and an industry body.
We must also invite kids from like the neighboring places around Kliptown and Soweto, take it beyond Soweto into Gauteng.
Seeing their eyes light up, the amazement and the excitement on their faces was just, it was phenomenal. And they would see the ball bouncing, they would see the walk cycle happening. They couldn't get enough of it. It was like, let's do this again, let's do this again, let's do this again.
I've always been really passionate about Africanization of imagery and animation. It really gets us to play with the different art disciplines and start experimenting on what is our style, what is our aesthetic style that represents South Africa, and then of course the opportunity to tell people stories.
The program will grow, the techniques will become more complex, they'll start telling their own stories.
In the near future, they will come and create their own stuff on their level, in their generation.
They have to tell their own stories because they live their stories.
One day I will make
my own animated movie.
And it will be based on my own personal story.